Okay, it's week 2, and I've amended the scores after taking a quick look at the sheets. And it looks like the dwarf has 2 gold points because he's the only one scored gold. He still has a above 10 total, um, as you might be able to see on his board there. And so that's going to give him um, enough to score the 2 points. As long as he stays above 10, he meets the criteria for scoring gold. So there we go. And so again, even a more interesting first week there. And I think the wizard has been sort of has shafted this past. The first week had a little bit of a hard time. I think he's actually poised to do some good here in week 2. So let's figure out what's what. I think the Amazon could certainly go for Slither because she has Snake Charmer. Unfortunately, Dank is way down here and away from her goals. But I'm actually I think I'm gonna loot. I think I'm gonna go and try to loot the cairn with her. I think we're gonna go hide and move to the cairn, and then search and try to just get some treasure under her belt, and so on. If the spider shows up, she can get out of dodge. The wizard has a couple things. So first thing, he's gonna play rescue. So that allows him to choose a tile with monsters in it. And so we're going to choose a clearing. So the two token equals rescue for wizard. Done. So what does he need to do for that rescue? His goal is to either clear that out, or he can free the captive by being hidden and locating in the clearing. So he can either be alone with the captive in the clearing, or he can sneak in effectively. So that's what we're gonna focus on here. Oops, crap. I hate when I do that. That's the one thing I don't love about these sheets is they tend to screw up spells. Sleep is 3 gold. There we go. So as we find our characters here, we will switch their spells down. Now he's hurting a little bit, having used a lot of his magic. So that's a good question. I think we need to rest up. So we are going to rest. The wizard in this does not need to use a spell X first. He never wastes a phase. So he will use that and get his spell back. He can sleep the giants and sneak in pretty easy. So we'll rest up for the wizard on one day here. The Witch King, a little bit crappy on the Witch King. I don't love what he's got. I think we are going to rest, get our crap back. We're going to turn one into purple again. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And and hide just because we can, but that's not necessary where he is. The dwarf also has our buddy, the guard. Our goal is to get past these goblins. We do have Dragon Slayer. We can always see if that appears. We have Ancient Scrolls, which is find treasure with a spell on it. Ideally, we'd like to get past these guys and then either down to the caves or up to the cavern. Um, both of these require a little trek through the borderlands. So what I'm going to have the dwarf do is we're going to have the guard HQ follow the dwarf, right? So the dwarf doesn't have to write his move. The guard HQ follows the dwarf. And the dwarf gets a free phase in caves and an extra search phase. And so his idea will be based on the roll to either come in and be hidden here at the beginning of the turn, and then 1, 2, 3. In theory, 2 of those moves can get us to the mountain. In which case, I'll rethink. So I think everybody has a move for day 8. It is day 8. So let's get a monster roll up. Looks like bats again. Bats, and more bats. Okay, who's up? The Amazon is up first, followed by our dwarf, the Witch King, and the guard is last. He's the campaign war chit. So, the Amazon is moving to the cairn. Hide. She does. She moves twice. She searches. Ruins, unfortunately, is going to bring that to her. And that stinks, but she does get to search first. So let's... Maybe we can put... Nope, nothing. Okay, and that's it. Not super happy there. That was a bad draw. So, okay, the dwarf is going to hide once. And he does. And now he can move and move. Take an extra phase in the cave. So he is there. Flutter is going to pull. That's clunky because it cuts off our escape. Yay. The Witch King is going to rest twice. Spell X and spell. And then he's going to hide. Doesn't need to hide. And indeed doesn't hide. And he's done. And then the wizard is resting up a lot of crap here. He's going to rest 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And then he spells. There you go. He is done. And I don't think anything appears. Nope. And that's our day 8. Pretty quiet, actually. Oof. The Amazon really needs to... I'm not sure she wants to deal with... She lucked out on that first bad battle, losing only, as you can see, a point of damage on her shield there. Nope, it does. I was checking my mic to see if throat clearing came through. It seems like it does, unfortunately. I will try to mute myself before doing that. Anyway, I don't think she wants to deal with two bats right now. I think that's a loser for her. Oh, and the ghosts actually are back because we've passed a day 7 there. So 1, 2. I think she's gonna hide 1, 2, 3 into the nutwoods. Move, hide, move, nutwoods. She'll see what's in that clearing and be done. The dwarf, I believe. I'm gonna say I think the dwarf is going to do pretty much the same move. And he's going to make a bear move out to the mountain there. So I think that's his goal. The Witch King, having rested, is darn annoyed at these flippin' bats that just showed up. Because I do think he is considering nuking the goblins. But that does put a little bit of pressure on him now. So if he does spell X and spell, and then hide, move to the bats. He can have 3 purple. And is that the big 3 bats? Is that, yeah, that's the 3 bat Monty there. So he'll move up there and then maybe get in there and nuke that the next day. So the wizard has pulled the rescue, or he has investigated it. I think he hides twice and moves into the cliff. And then that will pop Navigator or explore the cliff, and that's going to help him in the future there. So that's our day 9 for everybody. Bats again, because we can't have too many goddamn bats. Okay. Who's first? It looks like the wizard is first, followed by the guard, who's just going to follow the dwarf anyway. So let's do the wizard. The wizard does hide twice, fails once, succeeds the second time, walks in, nothing is there. We could howl, and that might have called something, but I think all the bats are gone. They are. And he has explored the cliff. So what he gets is, he gets a point, so that's nice. He also gets climbing tools. So he is complete. He completes explore the cliff, and he has climb tools, which is first move into mountain clearing, costs 1. So that is sweet. You can sell those for 5 gold, I think. I have to look for sure. But that is going to help him. So he has explored the cliff, and he's got a point assigned to him, and he is done for the day, and nothing appears because there's nothing left to appear. The guard is following, Our Witch King is going to spell X and spell. So he flips that purple. He's going to hide 2 times then, which he does. And then he moves up there. And the bats are going to move. They're prowling, but they're prowling on exactly the space they're on right now. And that's done. She gets out of dodge and goes to the Nut Woods. 1, she is going to hide, which she does. And so she's hidden when she enters the Nut Woods. That turns over Ruins W, which I think is wolves, potentially. But she is done. And now the dwarf and his buddy, who followed, are going to go 1, 2, and 3 and get out of dodge. That's Bones, which would draw bats, and Roar 4, which doesn't do anything now, but it does get us closer to the cavern. Do we have any fights to take care of? The wizard guys get to draw a card. He gets the challenge. Ugh. I think his goal is to take care of the rescue. So okay, so after the end of that day 9, see the wizard has finally gotten on the scoreboard with 1 quest point. So good for him. Let's see who's got to do what here. So we got. Let's consider the wizard's move first. Now this is only going to cost him 1, so that's actually pretty cool. He's going to hide twice, I think. Well, he can run from a giant at least. So let's just hide once. Let's move into the giants. And then let's search 2 times. Done. So that's cool. He's ready to roll. The Amazon is a tiny bit bummed. Her, best laid plans and all that. I mean, she could go. So much bad that could happen. 1, 2, 3. I think still got to find that layer. So there's one place it can't be, but it could still be in the ledges. It could still be in the cracks. Wow, there's a lot of places this thing could be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more places, 4 more hexes to look at. um, she still has Snake Charmer, but that seems. And the slithers are here and here. 1, 2, 3. She can get down here quick. I tell you what, she's going to do a quick bop on the cracks. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to hide once and then down to 1, 2, cliff 5. Hide once, move, 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 cliff 5. Done. She is done. The wizard is done. The Witch King is in a little bit of an awkward situation that he has to hide, and he is going to move into the goblins. Done. And now the dwarf, we have to make sort of a decision here. So the guard's with us. He's been following us. So we're going to follow the guard. Actually, where are we? We're just going to go 1, 2, and then 3, our extra move into the caves. So the dwarf, under the variant that we use, the dwarf gets 4 phases, can only execute 2 moves, except that doesn't include any extra phases he gets, including any extra phases in the caves. He does get 1 extra phase in caves, so he could go 1, 2, and then 3 into there. So I think we're still going to do this, and we're making naked moves, assuming that the guard will mostly protect us. So we're going to follow the dwarf, and everyone's going to hang together here for our last move. So, okay, that's day 10. Monster roll for day 10 looks like spiders and imps. And the order looks like that dwarf is going to go first, and his guy's going to follow him. And so, let's go. 1, 2, 3. And he flips smoke and patter 5, which is going to put a spider out, I believe. And there we go. That's the dwarf's turn. The Amazon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does she end up hidden or not hidden? She does. That brings Dank. Oh, we're getting all the spiders. Dank is gonna pull some spiders. Pretty sure. Let's make sure real quick that it is. Oh, those are mountains, though. Oh, the cliff is a mountain. Done. Ain't no caves in a cliff. And that pulls a spider on her. She'll have to see if she's fighting that. The Witch King has to hide. Else he blows it, and he's stuck with the bats. And Patter brings the last spider out of its. Or does it? No, right. Not caves. Oh, and so it didn't bring one up here either. Because Patter 5. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I wish I just did M and C. That would be nice. This is a cave. It would bring goblins. Nothing there. And so we are done with that. Now the wizard's going to hide twice, I believe. No, just hide once. Just once. Into the giant space. He's going to search twice, and he's trying to locate. And if he gets a 4 or a 1, then he quietly unties his dude while the giant sleeps, which is cool. One of the realm's natives has been captured by the monsters. It's up to you to free him. Roll a random native. So we actually should have done this before, but that's okay. That's a D8, right? Yeah, D8. The Order and the Guard are never captured in this way. The company. So the top company man looks to be a crossbowman, number 6. So he's the guy. So crossbowman 6 is here. We have rescued him. We're going to score a VP. The captain joins, the crossbowman joins us as a follower. And we have the option to bring him back to a dwelling. He will leave your service and the native group gains a level of friendliness. However, heck, it's a guy. That's pretty cool. So we score again. It's going to give us a point. Let's go to the wizard sheet and make sure. Yeah, so make sure we scored there. Oh no, that's not the dwarf. What am I talking about? The dwarf. Why is it the dwarf do it? This is the wizard. So the wizard is scoring again. So that's sort of awesome. So he goes in, he unties the guy. That's it. He's going to score his VP and get him as a follower. So nice. Very, very nice. And the rescue is complete. So we do have, let's see, what do we got here? We have a couple things to note. First is the Witch King has got a back problem. I don't think the Witch King. Okay. So I think we'll have to rethink his universe there. I think he's gonna melt into mist this time. And he will utilize that to run out of the square there, and he's going to head back there and rethink. I had to rethink that approach. So that's him, and he is done. Don't love that. The Amazon. Let's look at the Amazon. This is a heavy spider, not tremendous. It is simply heavy. Can she kill that? Yes. So she is hidden. It is not yet on her sheet. So let's take a quick look at what that fight looks like. If she plays, well, so I think round one, she just has to slow play it. And because she can't auto hit it. But if she plays that, then if he flips, she'll hit first, still this round, and she will kill him. And otherwise, no one hits. So let's just see how this goes. So we've got. Oops, I'm flipping the die. I'm not actually rolling it. Let's roll it this time. So we roll it. One. So one stays in place. Does he flip? He does. So let's take a quick look at this situation. So round one, we have a 3 length. We go first. We do medium star damage because we're overstrengthening this weapon by 1. So it's an L star, it becomes an M star. That's heavy. This spider's heavy. It is hit. It is killed. We're going to get 3 and 3 for that. So let's mark down our 3 notoriety. We have 12. She's going to be winning the prowess game still. No fatigue, no nothing. That's an auto kill every time the Amazon is hidden in one of those spider places. So that's good on her. But I think that's it for the day. And so if we take the quickest look here, we're going to see the wizard updating his score by a point. And so he's pulled into the lead of the for last place, I suppose, with our Witch King. And he has Monastery. So the monastery goes in Mountain 6. And he and no one else and did I save that? Yes. So Mountain 6 for him, I believe. He wants to find the monastery. The first time that he finds it in Mountain 6, so I will put the monastery here. Oh, and actually, I changed Mountain One. Right, we did Mountain One. I remember we changed that last time. The two token is now two token is monastery, and that is for the wizard. And so pretty much first time that he touches that, he's going to get a bonus. Everybody else can go there and they can get curses and spells removed. They know two spells from the type one less. They can learn them for $10. Or healed, you can for a donation of gold, you may rest here, taking one extra rest phase a day until you're healed or leave. He though gets a point by getting there. What is the route to get there? And the answer is, well, through the damn borderland. It looks like so we've got that to deal with. There's a couple things I think to pay attention to here. So first, let's talk about our our Amazon lady there. So she is, I think, checking. If I recall, her goal is to 1, 2, 3, 4 to check the crag real quick to see if the layer is there. Otherwise, not feeling too good about it, even though she's in the lead. She's in the lead, but I don't see her scoring any of these cards anytime soon, unless we get lucky and get a damn 2 roll. So what I think she is gonna do, and I know we've traded there before. I don't know if she did or not. If she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, that's as far as she's gonna get. Does she have any cash? She still has $10. I tell you what, she's gonna do a move. I don't know how many moves is it to the end. It's 3 moves to the end. She's gonna do 3 moves to the end. This one is her extra move. And she will try 2 higher faces. And I don't like that. That's not ideal. Unfortunately, she's gonna have to hide. And then, yeah, that's good enough. So she will do that. That will put her here. She can then hide move. You know, she can get up in there next turn. Gives her one shot to hire someone and see if she can get a little bit going on there. The wizard, ugh, not a big fan of the challenge. Exploring the borderland is certainly a possibility, but you are talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 day, 1, 2, 3, 2 days, 3 days, at least 4 days in there. Um, at least 4 days is my guess. I tell you what he's going to do. 1, 2, 3, and he can go to the Maple Woods and check that out. Now, what can this guy in the company do? He can hit a giant, but he has to roll 2 dice but crossbowmen would have to roll 2 dice. So he would need a 2 or a 1 on 2 dice to actually kill a giant. So that's not flying. 1, 2, 3. So let's do that. So he's gonna move into the Maple Woods, and then he will hide once. That's his plan there. Witch King has to move to Linden Woods too. in which case he will rest, spell X, spell, so he will be ready for to re-engage fully. Man, I would love to have a control bats right now. And then I sort of think that he would. He's not going to walk back in. I think he just hides for the moment, and then tomorrow the goal is to walk back in and try to take care of some business there. Yeah, let's roll with that. So done. Um, the dwarf on day 11. So we've seen the cavern. Nothing to it, really. Nothing to this cavern. This cavern is sort of a dead end. And a little bit of a bummer. I think we're gonna get to back to Mountain 2. So we'll follow the dwarf again. And we'll end up back in Mountain 2. I think that's all the moves I have for today. Let's roll this die. 2 serpents and demons. Well, that's good for some. It is he's following the dwarf. It looks like this is the order we're going in. So the wizard moves into Maple Woods. 1, 2, 3. Flip, maybe. We'll see in a second. He does not flip, actually. And that brings the small campfire into play with the cook in the middle of nowhere, by the way. And now I always put them out when you first flip it. I always put someone out on it. And I'm going to keep with that. I don't think that's actually in quite the rules. I think you have to be on this thing for someone to show up. And I don't do that ever again. I just do that when they first pop. I go, well, who could be there today? And then we pop them and get more of these natives on the board there. But he is done. Now it's the Witch King who heads back. The Witch King does a little bit of stuff there, and then he's going to hide. I think he does, and nothing appears. So he is good. But yeah, I think the actual rule is just to be in the clearing for anyone to pop a dwelling. I don't think it is going to matter, but we'll take him off of there for now. Anyway, so we got these guys. The Amazon goes 1, 2, 3. She is going to hide just in case. These guys aren't her best buddies. And now she's going to roll on the neutral table and try to hire the top rogue. Oh, 3. Price times 4. I mean, yeah, we're going to take him for $4. So add 14 to that, day 25. Rogue 7 gone. And minus $4. And that's good. That helps her a little bit, actually. It gives her a little bit of leeway with some of these fights. And she is hidden and she is done. And now the dwarf is going to go 1, 2, 3. And I don't know. I don't think anything appears because nothing's green. Now, is anyone fighting? I don't think so. I do think so. I do think the wizard will pop this challenge. It's for him in any case, but we're gonna pop it just to see who's who. Um, the challenge is a native group, 6, the wood folk, and a random dwelling, 6, a small campfire. So there you go. So the wood folk at the small campfire is Swirl Coin is the merchant. Sure. Let me do that and that. And then 3 token is challenge for wizard to make sure that I know what's what. So we're gonna put this 3 token there too. And let's make sure we know it's literally that guy. So it's Woodfolk 2 challenges wizard. That's strangely not the worst thing in terms of him being able to fight, with the caveat that he can't auto hit him, and when this guy flips, he potentially does a ton of damage. So it's a little dangerous. I don't know how into that particular fight I'm going to be. So let's look at everyone's day here. So the Amazon is trying to get to the crag. 1, 2, 3. So she can do that with a couple hides. So she's going to hide and hide and then move, move, move into the crag. Oh, did anyone appear at the inn yesterday on a roll of 2? No, it's the house and the small campfire. She's going to move up into the crag. The wizard, I think, stays the course. I don't think the wizard changes his thought process. And the thought process is to go and go sneak up in here. Now, mind you, this sort of stinks simply because it's going to take him 2 just to get through there. And he still can't run, even from big old slow things. Dragons, yes. Trolls, no. So, ugh. Uh, I think it'll be interesting to see what's in there. We know the Lost City's not going to appear. Let's do it. We're gonna move into High Pass 3. So we're gonna move and move high pass 3. It's not a great move, but we're gonna try just to see what's in there. Maybe we can get through the mountain. Um, so we have a day 12 for those two. So now the Witch King has to sort of decide, right? So light, medium, heavy, tremendous. Effectively, on a missile roll, the Witch King on 2 dice, unfortunately, can only do a 4 or worse to kill these bats. And so you'll see, right? I mean, not super, super. He doesn't get any missile bonuses or anything. It's pretty basic. He didn't take. Oh, he didn't. He didn't take Fiery Blast. That's a good point, actually. That's not his gig, right? So okay. Um, That's it's not where he's going to. Is sort of what we're saying. So, uh, still love that stupid dragon to pop. We would just absorb him and kill everything. Having said that, the sword goblins are dangerous all the time. So I'm a little bit at a loss here. Drag 1 clearing's worth of monsters in and defeat them. Oh, okay. So I think he does have a plan then. And more to the point, I think we have I think we actually a decent plan. So here's our plan. So what we're going to do in this hex is, since we don't have any attack spells, we're going to de-enchant this hex. So that's our first plan. So we de-enchant the hex. And I believe that will. So the question is, what does that do? Well, that's good. Let's figure that one out. Let's unlock it. If we flip it, so we have to be in hex 5 for this to make any sense. Or clearing 5. So let's get to clearing. Can we get to clearing 5? Well, hold on again. 2 doesn't attach to 5. 2 attaches to 4 once we're disenchanted. But doesn't get us. So we're in the crappiest crappiest clearing possible. Uh, so if we disenchant, move to 4, re-enchant, move to 5, that's still a lot of time. How about this? How about we disenchant it and move to Pinewoods 2? So here's the plan. We're going to X, spell, that disenchants the tile. We're going to move to 2, what we're into, right? We're going to move to 4, and then we're going to move to the woods, and those woods are the pine woods. Move to the pine woods. So that's 3 of our moves. And then we can alert if we needed to. We don't actually need to, by the way. we still hit that giant, right? Am I clear on that? Yeah, 5. So let's not even alert. You know what let's do? Let's rest. Because we'll need to rest at that point anyway. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We should end up in Pine Woods 2. 1, 2, 3, rest. 4. We are going to pop Monster Lore, which will drag this giant to us. We can use Drain Life to pretty much auto kill him. I mean, that'll rest some stuff, which is, and so on. And so we can be done there in a heartbeat and pop that. So that's good. I think that's a nice nice plan there. The dwarf is looking for a way to get to the dang caves. And the dang caves look like it's 1, 2, 3, and then beyond. So we'll continue to follow the dwarf. We'll probably hide a little bit more. I'd rather not get into a pissing contest with all those goblins. If it was anything but the big ones, I would consider. But let's stick with that. Okay. So I've got plans for everybody. It took a long time. It took a while. Sorry. But it's day 12. Let's pop day 12. Let's get a monster roll up. 1 dragons. Well, we haven't seen dragons all darn day. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our dwarf is going. And we're following the dwarf. He's going to move in 1, 2, and then hide. Well, actually, he's going to go 1, hide, which he does, and then 2. And that'll flip him over to hidden. We get possibly multiple dragons. Holy crap, that is a crap show of dragons, potentially. Let's take a quick look. We're going to get Flutter, because that's everybody. Potentially. Well, hold on. It's ruined. So we're going to get nothing there. We have to check Flutter, Slither, and we know the Horde. So the Horde brings... And man, So there's the Horde. Every goblin in there. Come on. There we go. That's good enough pile. That's the Horde. Flutter 1, I think, pops, because Flutter doesn't care. Flutter is... Yep, Flutter's everything. So Flutter 1. That's there to add to the bats. And then we get a Slither, because Slither doesn't care. And that is on top of us. Oof, that's the dwarf's turn. That was pretty big there. Amazon moves into the crag. So let's watch the Amazon move into the crag. She's gonna take a move. She does get a hide in there. A couple, I think. Well, that's a fail. I hope she has more than 1. She's got 2 hides. 1 and 2. She does succeed. She ends up in the crag. Smoke. and the lair in 3. So that's freaking cool for somebody. I think it's cool for her. She has locate the lair. Wow. Smoke doesn't call. Oh, Smoke calls indeed that guy. And the lair indeed calls that guy. Wow. I mean, it makes it less cool. Simple because now she's in a little bit of a conundrum because getting out of here is not ideal, and that's a lot of dragon. Now, mind you, she can run, so I'm not super worried about it. So she'll consider her options tomorrow. Witch King. He is disenchanting some crap. So let's unlock this. Flip that. The Witch King will use purple. So he fatigues a purple to do so. He then moves to here. And then rests this chip back. And then he is done. Now, what he's not, I mean, I was sort of considering, could he drag instead of, because the original plan is to drag this clearing in, right? You drag this guy in, you kill him. Could you drag this clearing in? Let's just take a real quick look. Those guys can't hurt a tremendous dragon. These guys can hurt a tremendous dragon. These guys cannot hurt a tremendous armored dragon. So it really comes down to, what about these dudes? So, I mean, this is all fine and good. You cannot guarantee a hit. You kill anyone you hit. You can't guarantee a hit until they flip. Soon as he flips, you can guarantee a hit and you can actually win that speed battle. And so any one of them is great. It's that there are, still a small conundrum, still a pile of these guys. 6 of them, I believe. And that you're going to have to put more than one in the thing. So you do have this whole one pile. So it's a 10% chance that you get killed. If that pile flips on you, and if that pile flips on you and lines up, they will kill you. Otherwise, you pick them off, and if you can last, several rounds, you can probably get them all killed. I don't know that that's the play. I would bet that you end up dying on that play. I do love how, it's like a Jenga tower of goblins. So in any case, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stick with the original plan. I'm going to pop Monster Lore. That drags that group of that giant over here into the Pine Woods. And we are done there. Sorry this is taking so long. I am yapping a little too much, and a lot of it is barely relevant to Magic Realms. It's mostly relevant to my goofy addition to Magic Realm. So let's move. He just does a bear move into there, I think. Yep. Wanting to pop the high pass. Let's see what's in here. It's Bones and the Vault in 3. So we are staring at the damn vault. Fortunately, it's not us, not this time, and we are good to go. Well, that's interesting and good to know. I don't know how I feel about that because we still can't open the vault. Um, but we do have some fights today. So let's clear out the fights. The first fight is, I would argue, at least vaguely interesting. It's these two guys against the dwarf. And more importantly, it's the dwarf and his guys. So what we're going to do is, come on, can we pick this up? Yeah, there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to drag down 3 of these. 1, lock it. 2, and we'll lock that, and then 3, and we'll lock that. I'm not super happy. That one's like on the edge of the... Let's move everything up a tiny bit, eh? There we go. I feel a tiny bit better there. Lock, lock, lock. Okay. So now we have 3 sheets for our guys. Here's our guys. We also have the dwarf. The bad thing is, so there's 2 dragons, I think. There should have been 2 dragons. I am not 1,000% sure where we're losing chits to. This is like playing with my damn kids. Every time I play Magic Realm with my kids, I get all antsy because, they're flopping around the table and, oh, my shirt is loose or whatever, right? Just stupid stuff. No, it's a single dragon, right? There's not 2. No, it's just 1. Oh, that's my fault. Okay. But I'm always worried about them knocking their little chits off, so... So the main issue is this guy actually is pretty darn dangerous. He can indeed hit and kill any of these guys. And these guys cannot guarantee a hit. And the first round, they will go first. The second round, so you could do this one of 2 ways. The first way is he just fights the dwarf. You just fight the damn dwarf. The dwarf can duck every round. The dwarf can pull tremendous damage. He doesn't need tremendous damage, so the dwarf can pull whatever the heavy damage is. And, he's not going to hit automatically, and it's literally a 1/3 chance to kill this guy in a couple rounds before he, and when he lines up, you kill him. And you're good to go, because once you miss once, you're on the H4 track. So you have the, it just comes down to, do you line up in 2 rounds or not? The other option, which is a little riskier, is you deploy all these guys to the dragon sheet along with you on round 1, knowing that you have 3 chances to hit this guy and line up, plus a 4th chance, and your weapons are longer than the dragon on round 1. And I think that's what we're going to do. So 2, we're going to deploy these guys. The dragon's going to be on his own sheet. And indeed, we're going to deploy him, and then him, and then him onto the sheet. And what would have happened before is that, although what we don't have to do, I shouldn't say that. Well, no. We are absolutely going to deploy on round... we're going to absolutely deploy on round 1. And the reason for that is... Because all of our weapons are longer, so we all get the first hit. So even if this guy lines up, no matter what, all we got to do is line up on round one, and then we can make the decision on round two, I believe, as to what to do after the fact. It doesn't matter what I play. So first thing is first, I'm going to play something to flip this weapon, and then I'm going to play whatever on it. So whichever one. I'll play one or the other. Or the other thing you could do, if you wanted to guarantee a win and not lose a guy. So the main thing is that because we are deploying, each one of these guys is going to roll. So they're all going to end up all over the place, right? They end up anywhere. And so it is possible that they end up something like this, and then that this guy would hit because he undercuts and kill this guy. So that's largely what you're hoping against. And, you're going to play your chit too. So there's literally 4 chances to hit this guy. So your chance of missing is 2/3 to the 4th power. So it's 2/3, 4/9, 8/18, 16/36, right? 2/3, 4/9. No. So we've screwed this up, right? 2/3, 4/9, 8/27, 16/81. So the chance of us missing is 16 out of 81. Let's futzy round that to 15/80. So that's 3/16 or thereabouts. So less than 25%. You have a 75% chance of getting a clean kill. But a 25% chance of losing a guard, I think that's high. I think we're not going to do that. I tell you what we are going to do instead. We are going to keep that weapon flipped. So we're not even going to play this out. We're going to let's lure him to us. Right? So we can lure him, and for my encounter step, I'm going to play the Ointment of Bite. So our attack will hit even on a tie. So I'm going to go there, and I'm not going to play a move. So he will automatically hit me this round, unless we can kill him. I mean, I can play a move. I can play this H6, and it would be just exactly the same as what I'm doing. So we'll play the H6. Done. So what should happen is, no matter where he ends up, so let's say he ends up wherever, down here, right? But no matter where he ends up, I'm going to hit him on a tie. And my weapon's longer round 1, and he is dead. Because I've done heavy damage. Heavy star, which is still heavy on a dragon. So let's roll it. 1, he stays right there. Does he flip? He does flip. We are longer this. We hit. And there you go. And that would be the problem. If he flips, he could still wound us down and so on. So we vaguely didn't play that perfectly. But the ointment is gone, discarded to crone. The dragon is dead. for 5 points. That's the first notoriety scored by the dwarf, so good on him. We do have to fatigue a fight, which will do our H5 there, sort of our Midland chip. Yeah, I mean, not ideal, but whatever. We're gonna and the crone gets that. We'll just do 30. 30 is always good. We now need to make sure simply that everybody gets back to where they're supposed to be. He's still with us. That's the dwarf fight, and again, took longer than I anticipated. Now we have the Witch King's fight with the giant, and we actually didn't even bother to hide. So what we do have is we have the capability of casting death. So that spell is going to go off. It's longer. And we have, what is it? It is Drain Life, I think. So Drain Life, and that is our tremendous killer for the black, the Witch King. Drain Life, attack hits a target. The caster can rest asterisks based on the killed monster's size. So he can rest 4 asterisks. And he is killed, and he has 8 and 8. He gets 8, prowess for that particular kill. So yeah, that's a pretty easy. Those are pretty easy. Those big, slow, tremendous ones are going to be easy kills for the Witch King. Unfortunately, he should have taken Fiery Blast, and he could have killed everybody. I am not super thrilled with the state of the horde with those goblins, but we're working. So he does also score a victory point, the Witch King. And in theory, he scored 1, 4. So okay, so in theory, the Witch King now has 2 victory points to his credit, and 16 notoriety. So we'll have to see where that puts him. Does anyone else have anything to score, or to fight? So he is done. That fight is done. We do have to worry about our our gal here, the Amazon. I mean, the nice thing is, it's not like she's not worried about like getting caught by these dudes. Really, she's worried about getting caught between them. is the danger? The danger is getting caught, in the middle of 2 of these guys. But I think she's going to try to get to the lair anyway. I think she sort of has to. So okay, I think, but we're done with the day, nonetheless. And so let's see where that leaves us. That's day 12. So let's look at our scores. Pull the scoreboard up. And I'm looking at notoriety specifically. So that's prowess. The Amazon has 12 prowess. 6, 16, and 5. So it looks like it's the Witch King with 2 prowess, the Amazon with 1 prowess point. And now if we look at our totals, that brings the Amazon to 3. So they've cut her down a little bit. The Wizard has 2. The Witch King has 4 now. And the Dwarf has 3. And so if you look over here on the right, our final scores are the Witch King 4, the Amazon and the Dwarf have 3, and the Wizard still has 2. And so we're down to the last 2 days. Down to the last 2 days, and the Witch King gets Spider Slayer instead of Monster Lore. So he doesn't really want Find Armor. Armor does him so little good. So little good. But we can turn those back in if we need to. Spider Slayer is not bad, because we can probably cap a spider if need be. So let's take a quick look. So the Amazon has her buddy, and she is stuck here in the crag. I think she's going to hide once and move to 5. And then... Well, and then she can move again and then move to 3. So she hides once. She's going to move into 5. And then she's going to move into the lair. And that is with her extra move right there. And if she doesn't hide, she's blocked anyway. So nothing wrong with that. The Wizard has the Borderlands or the Monastery to get to. I think he's going to, and Roar is a little bit dangerous. Roar potentially brings Troll, and 2 of them, more to the point. And I don't think we have a good answer for Trolls. We have Sleep. I think that's our get out of jail free card at the moment, is Sleep. So as long as we have a Sleep and a 3 to cast it, we can make a bear move into Mountains 4. Let's do that. Move, and then move Mountains 4. And he is done. So that's the Wizard and the Amazon on day 13. The Witch King has no black and no... has no black and no... he has 2 purples to flee. But I'm not liking I'm not liking my stuff here. So what is... So I wonder what will bring... Hold on. What will bring Ruins? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3 into the Nutwoods. Done. And then we're going to rest. And we don't have to hide, and I'll tell you why. We have Wolf Tamer. If we do encounter wolves, one of them will become our follower, and the rest of them will disperse. So we are essentially immune to Ruins W. So let's move into the Ruins W hex, right? So we do 3 moves. We get an extra spell X, and then a spell phase. And there's our 4 phases, and we can pull a black back up again. So that's good on him. Maybe we'll get lucky and roll a 3, and that will get us moving again. The Dwarf, oh right, is trying now. We are just trying to get to this guy. We're trying to get to the caves. Dwarf trying to get to the caves. Now before we do that though, let's just make sure that even is gonna matter. Now, oh wait, ooh. The Dwarf also pops something, which I did not, he pops Dragon Slayer. So Dragon Slayer, he gets kill any one dragon for 1 VP. So that's the Dwarf pops a VP, and this is my fault. I did not give him his cards there. The dwarf did gift exchange, so I do have gift exchange for him. But I don't know. And he had just gift exchange, right? So, but he did kill a dragon on day 12, so that kicks him there. So that actually gives him even a little bit better score. He is now tied for the lead with the Witch King with 4 points. And he now also has a Dragon Tooth, which will end Dragon Tooth. And what a Dragon Tooth does, it's essentially, for all intents and purposes, it is a potion. One dragon in the clearing ends combat for you in the day. So it pacifies one dragon. So that's cool. All right. So we got some points for the dwarf. So I got to pay attention to that. And the Witch King got Spider Slayer instead. And the dwarf unfortunately got a white source, which is not super useful to the dwarf. Now he'll just burn that. In fact, he'll just use it today. So tomorrow he gets to draw another card. We'll even just erase it. Barely matters. Bam. Take that off the board. Okay. So we do have to figure out our day 14 here. And so I'm pretty sure our day 13, I should say. So the Amazon's heading into the lair. The wizard is heading into the mountains. He's heading up to the woods to spell back up. And we really just have to deal with the dwarf. And the dwarf's trying to get down here to the caves. That's going to require a little bit of a tromp. What he's actually going to do, 1, 2, 3. don't love the ghosts, right? The ghosts are a little dicey for us. Just in that we can't guarantee hits. I just love how big and clunky that boing. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. So we're going to follow the guard HQ this time. So the dwarf, we're going to split. Follow HQ. And HQ now is going to make the move. And he can move 1, 2, 3, and then hide for 4. So he's going to move into the deep woods, and then he's going to hide. And there you go. We are done. If we have bats, that's fine. We can kill bats. The guard can kill the bats in a heartbeat. And in fact, I mean, frankly, the cairn might be a good place for the dwarf to loot right now. But I think that's it. I think we got it. So this is day 13 now. Let's get our monster roll up. And that is a 1 again. So dragons are on the prowl. It could be dicey for maybe the Amazon. Who the hell knows? Actually. So let's do our wizard. The wizard is just going to go 1, 2, and he is done. And I don't think anything appears because we've pulled all the damn dragons out of their spots. The Witch King goes here, and then he's going to spell X and spell. Excuse me, geez. I very much apologize. Spell X and spell, and he's going to pull up a black magic so he can repeat the process on more And actually, frankly, at some point, he should just start capping bats or something one at a time and melting into mist, although it's very expensive to do that. The Amazon has to hide. She does not. And so she is blocked, and that's her day. And this guy comes clumping down. That's okay. I think she's going to utilize that because she started in that. She started in that clearing today. The dwarf, following the guard, goes 1, 2, 3, and then they hide. I think they do, and they are hidden, but nothing appears. So we're good to go. And actually, I'll flip him for hidden just because she's going to run, and she's going to run in this direction here out of the clearing because all she has to do is beat sixes, and she can do that. Oh, but her swordsman can't run. Well, yeah, and he's dead. So she's gonna lose 2 points from her prowess there. That's gonna drop her to 10. And this guy dies. Put them on the side. And dwarf does pull take cover. So the dwarf gets a nice you can hide whenever he needs to hide. It's an instant hide. So that's a great, by the way, a super awesome thing there. So So we've got one more day till the end of the week. This is the day when there is gray magic everywhere. So we've got gray all over the map today. The Amazon is going to move 5 and move layer. And then she's going to hide, pretty much. And she'll be done on day 14. The wizard he can make, well, and the only problem is that whatever we roll is going to come off board and potentially comes back. So that actually means bats could come back. So you could be in a position where you've drawn 3 bats here and you're unhidden because you made sort of a crappy move. So I think we are going to hide once, or let's hide twice, and then we'll move into 6. So we're going to hide twice, hide, and then move, mountain 6, and then we are done with our guy there. The Witch King would still love to. I mean, he would still so love to get these damn wolves to pop. Let's see if anything else he needs to do today. Um, I think we're gonna spell X and spell, so that's one phase used for him. I would love to absorb this dragon. I still just think it's too much. Um, Still too many chances. You'd have to pile all the sword goblins into one, and then one guy alone on, and um, and then you would have to kill all the damn sword guys one at a time. With the caveat that, say you didn't die on round, 1, or you didn't die on the same round, you saw them all flip. He can fly away because nothing, because when you fly, you flee flying, only the flying moves count. So he could fly automatically from all these goblins. And that's not an issue because so interesting. That's super interesting. It means we might be able to go in and snipe the tremendous flying dragon away from these goblins. If we go in 1-2, now we can't go in. We can't go in. Immediately. We would have to hide twice and go in. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's do that. Let's hide twice. And then we're going to move, and then we're going to move into Borderlands, whatever the hell that is. 3. And so, so we're going to hide twice. Then we're going to move, and then move Borderlands 3. And what we're going to do is, maybe I roll a 3. Maybe all the goblins come off the board. And yeah, you're going to still pull a couple groups, but they're going to be scattered, and they're not going to be in the right spot. And then if I can get in there at all, pop, absorb. We absorb the tremendous flying dragon. We have 2 weeks to play with him. And traipse around the board and kill pretty much everything. This is what you would do at that point. So let's do that and see how that goes. The dwarf, hide 1, 2, 3, or hide 1, 2 is pretty much what he's doing. Let's hide once. Hide one time. Do now we can't 1, 2. Yeah, we're gonna hide once. We're gonna do 3 moves with our boys. We're gonna follow the HQ again. And we're gonna hide once, and then we're gonna move, and move to the large campfire. Done. And that's it. And that's day 14 written. And let's see how that goes for our heroes here. Does the wizard have anything he needs to do? No, we're still using sleep as sort of our go-to get out of jail free card on. And remember that whatever we roll right now comes off the board and gets rezzed. So let me close my eyes and roll. There we go. Okay, great. Oh, it is flipping bats. Jesus Lord, bats all day, every day. So we're popping a couple bats there. I think we got bats here. And I think this is the 3 stack. 1, 2. Yep. Okay. So good. So the bats come off the board and, well, am back. And we are following our guy, so that's cool. And let's get it all done here on day 14. So we do 1 hide for the guard. And and he fails. And we walk unhidden into the ghost. So, oopsie. All right, well, let's see how that goes. The Amazon. She moves, then she hides. And she fails. Nothing comes, though. Nothing is prowling. Nothing comes. The Witch King is next. And he's going to hide 2 times, succeeding, and go there. And he is going to bring Flutter 1 right there. And he is done. And then finally, the Wizard, I think he does a double hide. Make sure of that. Yes, he hides twice. And goes here. And that's actually fortunate because there are 2 darn giant bats in the way. And I'd rather not deal with them. The problem is we can no longer, well, we can move out. The Wizard has climbing tools. So he can actually go 1, 2, 3 and be out of dodge. And he can actually walk out of clearings in the mountains. And that's actually the biggest power of those damn tools. So before anything else, let's take a quick look and see. First off, we do have a forced fight here with the guard and the dwarf and et al. So I'm going to lure 1 to the dwarf's sheet. We're going to play the duck chit. We're going to play an H6 and sort of just sit on this. If he flips, he will start wounding the dwarf on other boxes, simply because so we're going to do that. In the meantime, this other guy will go on his own sheet, and this could be terrible for us. We are going to deploy and deploy and deploy all 3 of these guys here. So let's see what's what. This guy goes 5. So he goes down 1. Does he flip? He does. And that sort of sucks for the dwarf. The dwarf's actually going to take a wound from this light little hit because it's going to go straight through and not touch armor. So we do miss. Our weapon does alert. Doesn't really matter. It will matter in subsequent rounds because of speed and so on. The dwarf has to wound but not fatigue. And in this combat, we're going to wound. I'm going to wound that one. You would normally wound. I prefer fights over moves in almost all cases. Let's see what happens over here. And this is the one that matters to me more because I don't want my guys to die. And we have to hit. We have to line up on this guy. So where does he go? He goes 3, which means he switches there. Now, the only good thing, if he flips, we are golden. He does not flip. So let's see where these 3 guys go. Oh, this is actually good. First guy is this guy. And we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he goes there. And does he flip? He does. That's going to stink. We need to line up on him somewhere, somehow. The HQ, where does he go? He stays there. Does he flip? You got to be kidding me. No. The third guy. where does he go? 2. He goes here. Does he flip? So we're actually going to lose a guard here because of these stupid ghosts. He does not flip. So what happens is everybody freaking misses. He undercuts him and kills him, and he is dead. That sucks, by the way. And I'm super, super annoyed. Man, this all of a sudden this combat has turned into a little bit of a shit show. And I do want to make sure that let's make sure one thing here when we deploy that we're doing the correct thing. I have sometimes wondered about that. The melee step 8 for 139. Melee step. Selection of targets is done. Spell activation is done. Attacks and maneuvers. Positioning denizens. For hireling, okay, right. Oops. No, okay, that doesn't help. He puts the hirelings in any of the target's box. Uh, blah blah blah. Okay. I mean, I think we're gonna just roll with it. That's sort of we always, in that case, um, the hired natives, they do their thing. They all go randomly because you're deploying them onto this guy's sheet. So be it. That sucks. Totally sucks, and we are going to have to live with that a little bit. And so the question here is, what do you do, right? What do you do? So this guy is not on anyone's sheet. We're gonna lure him, and then we're gonna deploy against him, and he'll immediately come off the sheet, and we're gonna deploy with him as the target and him as the attack there. And so we're gonna sort of swap targets in this case. So let's see what happens up here first. 3 stays the same, 1 and 2 shift. Does he flip? No. So that's going to be misses all around. I'm okay with that this time. Over here, where does our unruly denizen go? 2 stays the same and he switches. Does he flip? And we're hoping not. He does not flip. So the HQ is going to go to a box, as is this guy. So he goes to this box, he goes to this box. It doesn't matter if they flip now. He doesn't. He does. Everyone's missed. So this is the round where everyone's missed. And now we are essentially back to... so this is round 2. We would make a decision as to whether we wanted to stay in the fight or not. I'm gonna not. I'm just gonna live with this and let's see what happens. So roll. There we go. 4. Everyone stays in the same spot. And he doesn't flip. So doesn't matter. So good on him. We're gonna stay there, and then down here, the denizen or the 4. Everybody stays in the same spot, so he stays right up there. These two guys will roll for the white and the red die. They both go to the middle because they're doofuses. Does he flip? He does flip. Oh my lord. He kills him. We kill him. So the ghost rips our... And so we're going to drag him to our sheet. And we're going to leave the guard alone. And take our losses. This is a bad fight for the dwarf and the guard. I am unhappy with how this happened. Since we hit, this flips over. It matters a little bit, unfortunately, and so it's too bad. But I don't have anything I can play otherwise, so we're just going to stick with it right there. Where does he go? 3 stays the same. These two switch. I could use for him not to flip today, and he does not flip today. But I do put him there. This is round 2 now. 6. Everybody moves up. He does not flip. Oh, and now we have... Yeah, we're making that weird decision, sort of. And we don't actually have anything to play, strangely enough. So combat ends now in the clearing. And we screw... I mean, it didn't screw up. It just was literally the worst of all worlds. And it sort of screwed up. I probably should have done something differently. So we lose 2 of these guys. That is 12 notoriety off the dwarves. Off the dwarf's docket there. That is terrible prowess score right there. 1 ghost, though, he does kill for 2, so that gives him -10 as opposed to... and 1 ghost goes back along with our swordsman. That is so miserable. I am so sorry. I so apologize, guys. Super shitty, and so no, I knew those weren't a good fight, and I should have tried to avoid them, but more. I should have just said, I'm not going to do the 1, I'll do the 2, because we ended up there anyway. You could have done more, more hides. All right, well, live and learn. Okay, so that's that. Do we have anything else going on? I think day 14 is finally over. And our crossbowman's not... There's no way to get a good shot off with the crossbowman, because you can't do that hidden. As soon as we target, we'll be attacked by these bats. So that's day 14. That's the end of day 14. If we look Now at scores, what do we have? I think we have so the Amazon has 2 points with cards. She has 10 prowess. Um, that is compared to 16, 2, and a -5 for the dwarf. The dwarf's actually losing on prowess. So so I think this is the midpoint scores. 4-3, 4-4 to 3-2. The dwarf and the witch king are still tied neck and neck, even with the dwarf's little setback there. And actually, I should have used the damn take cover. Oh, well, could I? Should I retcon that? Did we? I might retcon that, to be quite honest with you. And I apologize for retconning anything. But we do have the take cover. And and that would throw us into sort of immediate hide. Because knowing that fight wasn't great, but I did think it would go better. Don't get me wrong. So I am actually going to do that. I'll give the dwarf a break. I feel bad. Maybe I'm being. I mean, I'm playing by myself for Christ's sake. So, uh, and I forgot about sort of pulling that card. So if we do that, he doesn't lose any points. The guard remains intact with the dwarf. And we burn the card at the last moment to flip hidden. And that's really, I suppose, the use of the damn thing, really, is that sort of get out of jail free. And now we have Possessed Spirit as a quest. So yeah, I think we're gonna let the dwarf off the hook on that one. I screwed that up. Didn't remember what we had. So there we go. I'm sorry. So we got 2 weeks in. Um, a lot of stuff is happening. I think the Amazon is ready to score. Locate the lair. I think the wizard's ready to score. Monastery. Where's my damn cursor here to pull up? So they're going to score some points for sure. I think the Witch King. I think we're going to try the Gambit. And I think we're going to go in and we're going to swipe the Tremendous Flyer, and then, like I said, for 2 weeks, just go nuts with him. So thank you all for watching, and I appreciate it. I will talk to you all later on. Bye bye.